Today we're in Helendale, California, about 15 miles west of Interstate 15 and in the Victorville area. We're going to be doing a trail called Jackrabbit Trail. Jackrabbit Trail is a beginner's trail, easy most of the way. We're going to do a complete review of this trail. We're going to show you every bump, every hill, every rut, so you can decide if this trail is right for you. But it is a beginner's trail. It's flat and easy much of the way, but there are a few hills and a few rough spots. Trail is about 25 miles long, give or take. It's a nice, beautiful day, so let's get started. So the start of the trail is right off old Route 66. GPS coordinates are on the screen. It's right across the street from Helendale Grocery and Liquor Store. We do consider this a beginner's trail. Much of it is flat dirt road. It's established roads the entire way, but there are a few steep hills. Some of those hills are a little bit loose. For an experienced off-roader, I don't think there's anything here that would be much of a challenge. But this trail is not for experienced off-roaders. This trail is for beginners. This video is not for experienced off-roaders. It's for beginners. So if you're an experienced off-roader, why are you watching this? Anyway, if you're not experienced or new to off-roading, some of those hills can be intimidating. Some can be a little bit dangerous if you don't know what you're doing because they're loose and very steep. So you just want to go slow and easy, don't go alone, and hopefully watch this video so you know what you're getting into. First mile or so of this trail is flat, but there is a lot of overgrowth on the trail, so you most likely will get some pinstriping. If you are concerned about pinstriping on your vehicle, then you should probably just sell it now, but you don't want to take this trail because it will likely get scratched up, light scratching due to the bushes. Oh, there's that scratching from the bushes. This is not one single trail. This is a conglomeration of roads. We're going to be crisscrossing several roads, and they're all established roads. They all go somewhere. They all either end up in Victorville or Helendale. We call this trail Jackrabbit Trail, and it probably goes by other names. Our good friend XJ Phil brought us through here a few years ago, and he said it was a bunny trail, a beginner trail. And then we came upon what we call Dead Bunny Hill, which is one of the steeper, more dangerous hills. And he said, "Oh, this trail isn't really a bunny trail. We're going to call this a Jackrabbit Trail." And that's how it got its name. So from then on, we called it Jackrabbit Trail. Any 4x4 Jeep or truck can do this trail easily. You don't even really need to air down. We aired down a little just because the road is bumpy in a few spots, and airing down will smooth out the ride. There's no rock crawling on this trail. The most difficult thing you're going to run into on this trail is a couple of the hills that we're going to show you, and one or two little ditches that you have to get through, but nothing extreme. Disconnecting your sway bar links will be helpful on the one or two steep rutted sections, just to give you a little bit more flex, so you don't get 2 or 3 wheels up in the air. You flex a little bit better, but it's not required. We've taken dozens of vehicles through here that were not disconnected, and they did mostly just fine. If you can disconnect, I would recommend it. If you can't, I wouldn't worry about it. Now, on virtually every trail review video we've made, especially for the ones for the beginners, somebody always posts a comment and asks if they can do this trail and their two-wheel drive this or their two-wheel drive that. So I'm just going to come right out and say no. If you have two-wheel drive, don't do this trail. You might make it, but you probably won't. If anybody posts a comment asking if they can do this trail in two-wheel drive, then we know that you didn't actually watch the video, so the only reply will be watch the video, and you'll know. The answer is no. Do not attempt this in a two-wheel drive vehicle. We're staying on the main road and just following the main road. We're not making any left or right turns. And we slowly work our way into this wash. And that's where we're going to run into our first hill, which is what brings us up out of the wash back up onto the ridge. And that will really be the first challenge of the trail. Not much of a challenge unless you're a brand new off-roader. About 2 miles in, we're coming up on the first little obstacle, which is just a little hill that's kind of steep. It's not bad, but if you're a beginner, never been off-roading before, it can be a little intimidating. So check the GPS coordinates of where this is. Basically, you just go into 4 low, go up and over. Nice and easy. So Jonah's jumped ahead so we can watch her going over it. See, it's a little bit steep. Nothing to it. Again, if you're new to off-roading, it might be a little intimidating because you're going to see a little sky. Here we go, looking at the sky.
Rolling, Randy?
Yeah, go ahead. Just right up and over. Like nothing. So like I said, if you're a beginning off-roader, it might be intimidating. If you're an advanced off-roader, why are you watching this video? This is for beginners. The hill continues on. It's a little bumpy, but nice and easy. Just keep your vehicle right over the center of the ruts. Go right up and over. Another blind hill, can't really see. There we go. Can sort of see. Another couple of little hills and bumps, a little bit steep. No big deal. Now, even though this trail is about 25 miles long, one of the great things about it is that there is an early bailout point about halfway through it, about 10 or 12 miles. It runs right alongside Interstate 15, right at the exit or entrance for Dale Evans Parkway. So if something goes wrong or you're getting tired or whatever, you can bail out halfway through and it's literally right at a freeway entrance. And in case you're wondering, that is Jonah in front of us, the Wonder Woman in her Jeep JKU. We put her up there so that you can see in the video, get a better idea of how steep the hills are or how they look.
Stay right, Randy, left.
Yeah, you're gonna go right, and then up at the top of the hill there, I think there's another left, but you're just gonna go straight kind of right over the hill. You'll see the road it goes. Lots of crisscrossing roads, so look at the GPS coordinates to see how we go. You could go those ways. I don't know where they go or where they end up, but you'll either end up in Helendale or Victorville or somewhere, Barstow. And this is another somewhat maybe intimidating hill if you're, again, new to off-roading.
Left here, up this rocky stuff, or straight?
Straight ahead, it should drop right back down. So there was a left there, another crisscrossing road that goes nowhere, so we're just going to go straight down. And you can probably hear the engine growling. I'm in 4 low, first gear, so I don't have to touch the brakes at all coming down the hill. I actually have to give it gas to come down the hill. That way I'm not heating up and burning up my brakes the whole way. This is a stick shift, so if you're driving an automatic, you probably just put your feet up on the dash and go, but so it's a little more work with the stick shift. The NotaRubicon has now got 538 gearing with a 4-to-1 transfer case, so when it's in 4 low, the gearing is very low, so I can just crawl right down those hills. Never even have to touch the brakes. Let it go slow. Now Jonah's getting way up ahead of me. Gotta catch up. Now we are coming up upon what we call Dead Bunny Hill. This is probably the most intimidating and most dangerous spot of the whole trail. It's a very steep, very long downhill. It's a little bit loose and it's got some ruts and drop-offs about 3/4 of the way down that you can't really see when you're looking down from the top. There is a go-around. There's a go-around to the left. There's a go-around to the right. You go straight down the middle, and you will go down Dead Bunny Hill. Yeah, we'll go straight. So we're going up to Dead Bunny Hill now. So we just passed the,
Go ahead and pass me, Peggy.
the bypass on the left. If you were to take a left where I just went around Jonah there, it would take you down into the canyon, and then you could turn right and come out to where we're going to be coming down. That's a little bit bumpier than the other bypass, which is up here to the right. So this Dead Bunny Hill Very steep, very loose, very intimidating. I still take 2 looks at it, even though I've been up and down it 100 times. It always keeps my attention. I've seen a few people almost roll over on it. I am coming up to the bypass on the right here. So if you don't want to go down Dead Bunny Hill, you just go around there to the right, and it loops around, and it will take you down to the bottom of the hill. So a couple in our group are gonna take the bypass.
Peggy, Christina, you're not going down it? I'm not ready for it yet, basically.
The beginners,
Alrighty.
Mrs. NotaRubicon is not quite ready to take this hill. Pucker Peggy doesn't want to take it. She's gone down it several times, so she's got nothing to prove. So we're cresting the mountain here, the hill.
There is room to turn around up here, too, if you get up here and you decide you don't want to do it.
And we're gonna stop here and just walk it a little bit. Now, this is the point of no return, so mark this spot on your GPS. We're just gonna get out and walk it because we haven't been here since the last rain. Make sure the trail is still here. Everybody in our group, or several of us, walked down it. We just haven't been down it in about a year. It's a little looser than it usually is. A couple of people in our group decided they do not want to try it after looking at it. So they are backing up and turning around, going down the bypass. There is room to turn around up here if you get up here and change your mind. Now, it's not going to show in the video, I'm sure, how steep and how loose this is. So bear that in mind. And it's loose. And it's intimidating. It's probably my 10th time down. Like I said, it gets my full attention every single time. Steep drop off here. No, it doesn't show it. Nose first, straight down. Flattens out a little here. This whole hill is probably 200 yards long. Alright, we're gonna jog.
Bill, we're gonna wait until Randy gets down to get the camera set up.
Jog to the left a little here. This is the drop off. It's the scariest part for everybody. And it's loose and it's flexy. Whew. Sliding a little there. Again, if you're not experienced, if you don't have a vehicle with a lot of flex, it is a tough spot. One more drop here, which is not much at all. And we're coming up on the Jeeps that came in off of my right here on the bypass. I'm just going to move forward right ahead. Alright, so we're at the bottom of Dead Bunny Hill. We're continuing straight on. Coming up to a little Y in the road. We are going to the right. Still following the main road, and it kind of makes a left turn right here, curves to the left. Follow it along. It's going to bring us to another couple of hills. More tight spots between the bushes, so you will get your pinstriping here. Pinstriping is part of off-roading. Continue to work our way through this little kind of a wash. The road's a little overgrown, but still easy to see. A few little ruts and whoopie-doos, but nothing major. Up and over a little hill. Back into the wash. Right where I am, we made a left, and that's going to bring us to another intersection of the road, and we're going to make a really sharp downhill right-hand turn. You can kind of see us coming up on it. It's really sharp, you got to be careful, it's really steep. It's only about 30-40 yards long, if that. Alright, so this is a wide right-hand turn down this hill. It's very steep downhill. It's going to be blind going down the first few feet. You want to go as straight as you can, and it is completely blind. So make sure you get out and walk it first so you know where you're going. And eventually you'll see where you're going. Straight down. Brings us down into another little wash. And once you come down that steep hill, you get a beautiful view of Interstate 15. And but that beautiful view will not be for very long, because we're about to come out on what we call the Victorville trash dump, which is where everybody comes to dump their trash and then shoot at it. It's a really sad area. But before we get to that, we get another steep, scary, blind hill to go up, which is just up there in front to the right. It's completely blind at the top. It's a little bit loose. So it's off camber, uphill, it's a little loose. Sky, and it levels out. And here we are at the Victor Valley dump and shooting area. Of course, they're blocking the road, so we have to go around them. So now we're getting into the second half of the trail, which is a lot of flat dirt, easy road, a couple of spots to stop for lunch, and then a couple more hills. Then we get over into the mining area. So the next few miles are pretty tame and easy, as long as you can see the road. So we're back on a main dirt road now, making a right-hand turn. Back in two-wheel drive and just cruising on the dirt road. We're still on the flat road, but we're coming up on a couple of little hilly, bumpy sections. Nothing too bad. Just a little bit steep and a little rutted and bumpy. I'm still in two-wheel drive, which means I'm in high gear because I'm on a stick shift, so I got to hit it a little fast. Oh, faster than I like. Yeehaw! As you go along this road, you can see maybe off to the right, there's a couple of extra credit little hills, just long, steep, loose hills. They basically go up and around and back down to the road. Sometimes we hit them, depending on how big a group we are or how much we're running behind. Coming up on another intersection in the road, and we're going to make a left turn here, somewhere right about here, right at the petroleum pipeline warning signs. And this is going to lead us over to a couple of more hills to go up and down. Then we're going to head back over toward Interstate 15, which is where our early bailout point is. Coming up on a couple of little rutted spots. Just rutted enough that with the stick shift I'll want to go into low. Automatics probably breeze right over it. I just don't want to go too fast. Now the road is really overgrown right here, so it's really easy to miss. There was a left and a right down the middle, and we always go the right down the middle, but the road was pretty much invisible there because it was so overgrown.
Really overgrown. Okay, I see there's a road here.
The trail is really overgrown. It's really nothing more than a motorcycle path. It is really tough to see, but it leads up to a more main road up ahead, so as long as you're going toward the main road that you can see from a distance, you're okay. And by summertime, this road will probably be much easier to see. Back on a main dirt road now. Coming up on another hill that's a little bit steep and a little bit narrow. There is a mine shaft off to the right side as you're going up, so you want to make sure you stay on the road part. This hill might be a little intimidating if you're new to off-roading, or if you're just like me and don't like hills. But like most of the hills, once you get on it, it's not that bad. It looks worse than it is until you get to the other side. I think there's a big drop-off on the other side, but we'll wait and see. And blind hilltop and steep hill coming down the other side. And now merging onto another main road, basically continuing toward Interstate 15, which is straight ahead up there. So we made our right turn, basically paralleling Interstate 15. It's off to my left. There's a couple of roads that lead south, the direction we're going. It doesn't matter which one you're on because they all kind of merge up in about a mile. All right, now we're approaching the halfway bailout point that I mentioned. Directly ahead of me is Interstate 15, about a half a mile or less in front of me. We're going to come up to the power line road here, which is just 100 yards or so from the freeway, and we're going to make a right turn. But if we wanted to bail out early, we would just continue straight just a little bit past the power line road, and that is Interstate 15 right there. We are going to make a right turn along the power line road, and we've got a couple of miles of straight, well-maintained 20-30 mile an hour power line road. All right, we're coming up to a split in the road. We are making a sharp left. If you go right, it really doesn't go anywhere. Going under the power lines, we're going to make another right and just continue on under the power lines for another little bit. And we are going to veer, make a right turn off of the power line road, leaving the main road, taking a smaller road into the hills. And we're coming up on one of the spots. It's a little tough spot. It's just a little hill, a few feet high, but it's kind of steep. And if you don't have lockers, it can be kind of hard to get up, and it's a little intimidating. If you're going to have trouble all day, it's going to be right here. And it's blind going up. You can't see anything when you're going up, but it's flat up there at the top. And right after that uphill, there's a little steep kind of rutted downhill. It's really nothing for most Jeeps, but it can be a little intimidating right here. Nice and easy. Then we just follow the road straight and to the left. The road kind of splits again. Let's see, what does my map say? You could go right, the road meets back up, but we just go straight. So just keep going straight. Oh yeah, because if you go straight, there's this little rutted out section right here. Just a little drop. But if you're not expecting it and you hit it too fast,
Randy, you sure that's the right way to go?
it'll wake you up. I trust my GPS. Yes, probably. Now we're making a big wide swing to the right. And we're basically going to go down here and make a sharp U-turn. So coming up on the aforementioned U-turn, basically, just a big left-hand turn in the road, coming in from another road. And that brings us up onto another flat dirt road. And we're staying to the left of that now, basically headed back toward Interstate 15. Just slightly to the right about there is the dump. If you know where the dump is off Interstate 15, that's it right there, basically straight ahead. But we are going to make another right-hand turn away from that in just a few minutes. All right, cutting across parallel again to Interstate 15. Antenna Hill is directly in front. Interstate 15 is on my left. Coming up to another main road. We're going to make a right turn onto this road. If you were to make a left turn, about 2 miles down, you'd run right into Interstate 15. Coming up on another intersection here, and we are going to make a right turn. If we were to go left, it would go over toward Antenna Hill there. We are going to stay to the right. And then we are going to veer to the left. See a hill straight ahead with some white mine tailings up above. We're going to head toward that. What we're going to do is basically skirt around the side of that hill and come out on the other side. Coming up on another split in the road, and I'm going to make a sharp left here. We're going to skirt around the back side of that hill. We're going to come up over a ridge here, come out overlooking Victorville and Helendale. From this road, I can see the Air Logistics Airport in Victorville. I can see Helendale and the lakes, whatever the lakes are called out there. And in a minute here, we're going to come to one of our fun stop and rest spots, which has got a beautiful overview of the whole area. Coming out onto what used to be a part of an old mine or cement rock quarry or something. If we come up over this hill, we're gonna come up on the white bluff. Looks like it's covered in snow, but that's just white chalk or whatever. And from here we've got a view of Hesperia to Barstow. I don't know. Beautiful view up here. So we're gonna stop here for a minute, stretch our legs, take a look. As we leave the scenic viewing area, that's basically the end of the trail, except for this one last spot, which a lot of people think is the worst spot of the entire trail. We're going to have a very sharp left banking hairpin off camber turn downhill, so it's a little puckery. gonna go over this spot here, which is a little rough. And you can see that left bank that we need to make. Probably doesn't look bad on the video, but let me tell you, when you're on it, it feels bad. Basically up. Of course, it doesn't look bad on camera. We start to get off camber. Of course, we're facing down the hill. Then we're turning right, so we're getting left, so we're getting sideways. Facing down the hill. And then it's down. Yeah, that was the worst of it. Not too bad. So now we're coming down steep. It's a little bit loose. That was pretty steep right there. Got a couple big whoop-de-doos here to get over. One last one. And that is it. From here out, it's basically flat dirt road back to Old Route 66 in Helendale, just a couple of miles east of where we started. So that was Jackrabbit Trail. That was about 20 miles. It's still another couple of miles back down to the road, but it's all flat road now. If you have any questions about this trail, post a question in the comments below. We will try to answer it. Thank you for watching, and if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and subscribe so you don't miss our next video.